Alright, let me hit you with a quick question. Are you saving money or do you have savings? And no, that's not some financial tongue twister. It's a question that could change the way you handle your money forever. Stick around because by the end of the video, you'll know exactly what they both mean, why they matter, and how understanding the difference could fast track your financial goals. Let's break it down. Saving is the act of putting money aside. It's something you do. Think of it like going to the gym. Saving is the workout. Savings, on the other hand, is the result of saving. It's the money you've accumulated over time. And again, if saving is the workout, then savings are the muscles you've built. Let me give you an example. If you put £50 into a jar every week, saving is the act of putting the money in. After a year, the £2,600 you've collected, that's your savings. Most people think they're saving, but they're actually just moving money around. Let's fix that. Let's be honest, saving money isn't always fun. You've got bills, you've got temptations. Yes, I'm looking at you, Amazon deals. And let's not forget unexpected expenses. But here's the truth. Saving is about mindset. You've probably heard some of these terms. Delayed gratification. This is about choosing the future you over the current you and paying yourself first. The golden rule. Save before you spend, not the other way around. Let me give you a quick story. Imagine two friends, Phoebe and Rachel. Yes, we're doing this. Rachel saves whatever is left after spending. Phoebe saves before spending. Guess who's building more wealth? You know it's Phoebe. Not all savings accounts are created equal. Let's quickly break them down. Easy access accounts are great for emergencies, but they're usually not so great for growing money. Notice accounts. These normally give you a higher rate of interest, but you'll need to plan any withdrawals you want to make in advance. Regular savings accounts. These reward consistent saving habits, but they typically have limits on the amount you can save every month. ISAs or individual savings accounts, and in this example, I'm talking about the cash ISAs, not stock and shares ISAs, cash ISAs only. These are tax-free savings and interest rates may vary. And then there's fixed rate bonds. You lock your money in, but you typically get better interest. Each one has its purpose, but choosing the right one depends on your goals. I have easy access accounts and ISAs, and I've got one fixed rate deposit account, but I won't be renewing that when it matures. So I'll then have just easy access savings accounts. These are for my planned spending, my holidays, my car stuff, the stuff I've talked about before. And I'll have my cash ISA for my contingency fund. Both of these types of accounts that I have will have high interest rates. And that's an important point because high interest savings accounts are any of these accounts with a high interest rate. And just so you know, the 4 or 5 biggest banks, the high street banks normally, don't usually offer the best rates. And why would they? These are the banks that are the biggest in the country, and therefore they know they've got a captive audience. I know so many people that when they choose to open a savings account, they just open it with the same bank that they've got their current account with. Usually the one they opened when they were 13, 14, 15 or 16. And they've never moved. This is where the largest proportion of the population sit. And this is why they are wasting so much money by just inertia, not moving, not checking rates, not doing what's best for their financial futures. If savings are muscles, then interest is protein. There's a difference between simple interest and compound interest. Simple interest is interest that you earn on your initial deposit. Compound interest, and if you watch financial videos, mine or anyone else's, you'll hear compounding a lot. Compound is interest that you earn not just on your initial deposit, but on your interest that you've earned previously as well. So it's interest you earn on your initial deposit and interest you earn on interest you've already earned. So interest on interest. Here's a quick example of this. £1,000 saved at 5% simple interest for 3 years ends up being £1,150. But £1,000 saved at 5% compound interest for 3 years ends up being £1,157.62. Not a huge difference short term, but over 10, 20 or 30 years, compound interest becomes a financial superpower. Now here are strategies that actually work. Automate your savings. Set it and forget it. Here's a video that will show you what you really need to do. I'll link to it in the show notes below as well. It's about what you should do on payday, what your payday routine should be. Set clear goals. Have clear goals in your mind, but you do need to know them. Don't just say, I want to save money. That means nothing. That's too vague. Instead, say something like, I want to save £2,000 for a holiday by next June. Use digital tools to make things easier for you. Tools like Plum, Chip, Monzo, Starling Spaces. These can make saving effortless. Now here are some mistakes to avoid. We've talked about one of them before, waiting until the end of the month to save. Let's be honest, this is never going to happen. Try it 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. But if by the end of month 3 it's not working for you, it's not going to work ever. Another mistake is not having a clear goal. Again, if you're too vague in why you're saving or what you're saving for, then you're not really committed to doing the job of saving. You need to have a clear goal, like I said earlier. This is kind of linked to the last two I talked about, because if you have more than one clear goal, then having one savings account doesn't really work, does it? And this mistake has proven huge for me, and when I fixed it, it transformed my finances. When I stopped keeping all of my savings in one account, account. There are good reasons to have more than one savings account, and I've done a video on this very topic. In fact, it's one of my earliest videos on this channel. And again, I'll link to it somewhere over here, and it will be in the show notes as well. And the last mistake I think a lot of people make is that they forget about inflation. Have you ever sat back and wondered what the price of milk or something else was 10 years ago, 20 years ago, and you compare it to today's price? We get all nostalgic about this, but we forget that that is exactly what inflation is. That is inflation at work. And we need to keep our money ahead of inflation, or at least at the pace of inflation. If inflation is 2%, then your money should be growing at 2% a year to keep pace with its spending power. So if you want to be able to afford what you can today, tomorrow, make sure your savings are at least, if not higher, than the rate of inflation. I try and make sure my savings always outpace inflation at a minimum. So if inflation is running at 2%, I'll try and get a 4% minimum savings rate. There have only been a few times in my life that I've not been able to do that. And even then, that's only lasted a few months. At the end of the day, saving is an action and savings are the result. If you want financial security, you need both. Start saving regularly, understand where to put your savings, and let compound interest do its thing. If this video gave you clarity, hit that like button. It would really help the channel out and help this video reach more viewers. And don't be shy, share your best savings tip in the comments below. Earlier, I referred to some of my older videos, which I'll link to in the show notes below, so be sure to check them out. But if you're after another video right now, then this is the one to watch next. Now go and flex those savings muscles, and I'll see you on the next one.